Jehovah's Witnesses proudly claim they don't collect tithes. No offering plates. No pressure to give 10% of your income. On the surface, it sounds refreshing, even noble. But beneath that calm exterior lies one of the most efficient fundraising machines in the modern religious world. While other churches openly ask for money, the Watchtower organization uses something far more powerful: emotional control, layered guilt, and a system designed to make members feel that giving is not just a choice, it's proof of their loyalty to Jehovah. And they don't need to beg. Through carefully crafted messages in magazines, talks, and broadcasts, members are slowly conditioned to believe that true worship includes regular, sacrificial donations. So how exactly do they bring in millions each year, without ever using the word tithe? In this video, we'll explore the hidden financial engine behind the Watchtower: donation boxes, real estate consolidation, estate planning, and the subtle guilt woven into every meeting. You may never look at a voluntary contribution the same way again. If this kind of content helps you see what's really going on behind the scenes, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This channel is dedicated to exposing hidden truths, analyzing religious systems, and giving a voice to those who were never allowed to speak. Your support helps bring these stories to light. Jehovah's Witnesses love to repeat one phrase: "We don't ask for tithes. All our donations are completely voluntary." Technically, they're right. There's no collection plate passed around during meetings, no pledge forms, no pressure to give a fixed percentage of your income. And for outsiders, that might sound like a breath of fresh air compared to other churches. But insiders know, just because something isn't demanded openly, doesn't mean it isn't expected. At nearly every congregation meeting, you'll hear phrases like, "We rely on voluntary donations," or "Jehovah's people have always been generous." Articles in the Watchtower magazine often include subtle lines such as, "True worship includes supporting Jehovah's organization materially," or "Those who value spiritual food will naturally want to give." The message is clear: if you love Jehovah, you'll give. And if you're not giving, what does that say about your heart? Over time, these constant reminders blur the line between voluntary and required. Members begin to see donations not as optional acts of generosity, but as spiritual duties. No one forces them. No one needs to. The guilt does all the work. And that's how the Watchtower maintains the appearance of being different, while operating with the same financial efficiency as any megachurch. Part 2. Donation boxes everywhere. Walk into any Kingdom Hall, and you won't see flashy donation appeals or envelopes on every seat. What you will see, quietly tucked near the exits or on the back wall, are donation boxes. Sometimes they're labeled "Worldwide Work," other times "Local Expenses," or "Kingdom Hall Maintenance." No one says a word about them. But everyone knows they're watching, even if no one actually is. That's the brilliance of the system. There's no pressure, and yet there's pressure. You're never told how much to give. You're never told when. But you are constantly reminded that Jehovah loves a cheerful giver, and more importantly, Jehovah sees everything. The implication? If you walk past the box every week without donating, you're not just being stingy, you might be spiritually weak. Or worse, ungrateful. This creates a powerful form of social and spiritual accountability without saying a word. Even the way the donation boxes are designed, quiet, discreet, sacred, reinforces the idea that giving is a holy act. Members often feel ashamed if they're not contributing regularly, even if they're struggling financially. Because in the world of Jehovah's Witnesses, giving isn't about affordability. It's about obedience and faith. One of the Watchtower's most effective fundraising tools isn't a campaign or a public appeal, it's storytelling. Through Watchtower articles, JW broadcasting episodes, and convention talks, members are constantly shown examples of those who give until it hurts. Elderly widows who donate their life savings. Children who give up birthday gifts to put a few coins in the donation box. Families who cancel vacations to support kingdom interests. These stories aren't just inspiring, they're strategic. When you hear over and over that true Christians give until it costs them something, it slowly rewires your thinking. You start to believe that financial sacrifice equals faithfulness, and that holding back money might mean holding back your heart from Jehovah. It's subtle, but powerful. Members begin to feel that unless they're donating regularly, they're not truly grateful for their spiritual food. The result? People give even when they're struggling. They donate out of fear of being seen as spiritually weak. And because the organization never directly asks for money, any feelings of guilt or pressure are internalized. That's what makes it so effective and so dangerous. It's not coercion, it's conditioning. While most Jehovah's Witnesses think of the organization as a spiritual family, behind the scenes, the Watchtower functions like a multinational corporation, especially when it comes to real estate. Over the past 2 decades, the organization has built, sold, and consolidated hundreds of kingdom halls, assembly halls, and branch offices around the world. And every time a property is sold, the money goes straight to the central headquarters, not the local congregation that helped build and maintain it. In many cases, local witnesses donate money, labor, and time to construct or renovate a hall, only to later be told it's being closed or sold. There is no ownership. There are no refunds. And the congregations have no legal say, because all property is held under Watchtower-controlled legal entities. When a hall is sold, millions can be made, especially in urban areas like New York, London, or Sao Paulo, and those funds often vanish into the organization's vast financial machinery. What's more, some kingdom halls have been consolidated, meaning 2 or 3 congregations are merged into one building, while the extra properties are sold off. The members? They just drive farther. The Watchtower? It pockets the profit. And all of this happens while members are still encouraged to donate for future construction projects. It's a cycle that looks less like spiritual stewardship and more like strategic asset liquidation. JW Broadcasting and monthly pressure. Every month, millions of Jehovah's Witnesses tune in to JW Broadcasting, the official video platform of the Watchtower organization. While the content appears spiritual on the surface, with music videos, Bible talks, and encouraging interviews, there's always one segment that stands out: the monthly donation update. It's delivered in a calm, pleasant tone, but the message is always the same. You'll hear lines like, "Our expenses last month were higher than our income. The global work continues, and we rely on your generous support. Please consider what more you can do for Jehovah's organization." No one uses the word tithe. No one begs for money. But the emotional tone and repetitive phrasing are designed to create a sense of urgent responsibility. Viewers are gently reminded over and over that their donations are tied directly to the success of the global preaching work. It's not a command, but it's not optional either. It's positioned as a spiritual test. Are you doing your part? And for witnesses, who are taught to obey the organization as if it were Jehovah himself, these broadcasts carry massive weight. The pressure may be subtle, but it's constant. And over time, even those who struggle financially begin to feel guilty for doing too little. The result? Consistent streams of money, without ever having to officially ask. Jehovah's Witnesses are often told to think about Jehovah's organization when planning their future, even after death. That's why many of them leave money, houses, land, or life insurance to the Watchtower in their wills. It's not required, but it's strongly encouraged in magazines, conventions, and JW Broadcasting. The organization even provides official forms to make this easier. Members can donate stocks, property, savings, and even retirement accounts. Some leave everything to the Watchtower, believing it's the best way to serve Jehovah with their legacy. They're told that this is an act of faith, not just a financial decision. This brings in millions of dollars every year, and most people, even inside the congregation, never know. The organization doesn't ask for tithes, but by gaining full control over donations during and after someone's life, they've built a steady stream of wealth that continues for generations. So yes, technically, Jehovah's Witnesses don't collect tithes. There's no basket passed around, no set percentage, and no one standing at the door asking for your income. But through subtle pressure, emotional manipulation, and long-term planning, they've created a system that's even more powerful than a tithe. The organization uses guilt, loyalty, and fear of displeasing Jehovah to motivate giving. They highlight sacrifices from elderly members, children, and faithful pioneers, not to beg for money, but to shape behavior. And with donation boxes, real estate profits, and estate planning tools in place, The Watchtower has built a financial machine that runs quietly and very effectively. So the next time someone says, "We don't collect tithes," ask yourself, if people are giving out of fear, guilt, or pressure, is it really voluntary? Because behind the spiritual language, there's a business that never stops growing.